Service Strong. I'm your host, Liberty Simmons. So happy to see all of you here today. We have a very special guest, Jule Shepard with the Greater Alexandria Military Spouses group on Facebook, also known as the National Capital Region Military Spouses group. And Jule, we are so excited to have you on our show, Service Strong, because you have done so many great things for military spouses and military families in our region. So how are you doing? And thank you so much for joining us here on Service Strong.
Thank you, Liberty, for inviting me to come and speak with you and your audience today. It's an honor.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have done so much great work with your group, this online support community. So tell us a little bit about yourself and GAMS. It was originally named GAMS, but it's kind of changed over time.
That's right. So a little bit about myself. I'm actually a Nova native. My dad was a Navy veteran, and we moved to the region when I was in third grade, moved to Reston. And that's, I think, one of the reasons that makes me more successful in helping create and cultivate the culture of our group is that I'm familiar with what you need to know to live here.
Yeah, absolutely. And so tell us about how you created GAMS on Facebook. I believe it was established in 2015.
Yes, that's right. 2015. So there were lots of little splinter groups. This was in the early days of Facebook groups, and we just really felt like we needed a central place, a hyper-local community to support our families in making their decisions about where they wanted to live, where they should go to the doctor, those types of questions.
Yeah, and it first started as GAMS.
Right.
Tell us about the origin story there, because it was Greater Alexandria Military Spouses.
Right. So the hyper-local piece, that was really important to us. Over time, we continue to grow in our membership. I was very intentional, and I brought on other volunteer moderators. And today, we have a total of 14 volunteer moderators, military spouses, helping run our community group. So through COVID, we really saw a lot of struggles with mental health concerns. So we actually added a professional business page that we now use to communicate with our community members when they need those anonymous type support questions. And that was really then at that time when we decided to expand beyond just GAMS, or still known as GAMS, of course. It's a name that sticks. But we expanded to include all of D.C., Northern Virginia, which we really go all the way down to Stafford, Fredericksburg, and the entire state of Maryland.
It's so wonderful that you have these resources for military families and military spouses. So what are you seeing in the group right now? Because how many members do you have right now?
19,700 is what about our average right now. So
that's incredible. And you are connecting military spouses there, connecting military families. What does the group entail? What kind of resources can you get when you go and be a part of this community?
So one of the things that we pride ourselves on is really being an inclusive, kind, caring community. We also partner with other nonprofits, and we encourage them to have their pages join our group so they can connect directly with our spouses. We want to be able to bring the resources directly to our spouses to help them guide their time here. This area is completely overwhelming to live in, and we have so many jurisdictions that people just don't really know where to start. When you have so many good choices, how do you pick, right? So we help families through conversations go through that thought process, and that way they can live and thrive while they're stationed here.
That's wonderful. And so when you talk about this region and it being very confusing, the DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia, did you see a need and then that's why you wanted to create GAMS?
So it's kind of funny. We were in another group that was maybe not being quite as inclusive at the time, and they really wanted to have their own space for their area. And so it wasn't really like I woke up one day and said, I'm going to do this. It was born out of another space not really serving the full need of what we wanted to see. If you're not here yet and you're doing your research, we know military spouses like to do research, right? They go online and they ask their friends. So why not have us provide that? So we didn't want to have to have them provide hard orders necessarily in order to join the group. They say, okay, we're thinking we're coming here. We do vet our members, though, so we try to keep our community safe. That way we can have a nice conversation in there and not have those online trolls.
Yeah, just a sort of think of it like a one-stop shop for if you get your PCS orders and you are thinking about where am I going to get childcare, where should the kids go to school, how do I use the metro, things of that nature. What kind of issues do you guys kind of help with when people are just looking and researching, as you mentioned?
So the number one question that we get asked is, where do I live? And can you help me either with rental, buying, that sort of thing. So over the years, that rental conversation really came to the forefront because it's not like buying a house where you can go on the MLS and find your property. Not all landlords put their properties on the MLS. So we actually encourage all of our members to submit their information, and we keep a thread so that way every month it's updated. So people rent their properties and find them right through our group.
Such a great resource. Thank you, Julie. And coming up, we will talk to Julie more about some of the greatest challenges that military spouses and military families face here in the DMV and beyond. Welcome back to Service Strong. I'm your host, Liberty Simmons, and we have Jule Shepard with GAM's National Capital Region, an online support group for military spouses and military families here. Julie, we were talking about the challenges that military spouses, military families, and military children go through that maybe civilians don't understand, but just talk about your own experience because you kind of hit all three.
That's right. It's interesting that I don't really know that when I got married 30 years ago that I really thought that this is what I would be spending my time doing even now after my husband is retired. But we PCS'd a lot, permanent change of station, moving around. And early on, didn't have kids for 6 years, but then added 2 over the years to the mix, and we've PCS'd in and out of this region multiple times. The biggest struggle that I personally had was with childcare and military spouse employment, and those 2 areas are still things that are really big struggle for our families today. So trying to find jobs that are either remote or can support your service members to op tempo, right?
Yes. With kids too. It's just so challenging. So talk to us about some of the greatest challenges that you have had to go through navigating childcare, because even as a military spouse myself, that is so difficult. I think that might be the number one thing, at least for me personally. How did you navigate that? You were also a military child.
Yeah, so my dad was in the Navy, and he actually served as in the reserves. And so I don't remember the deployment cycle because he was already just doing the 2 weekends a month, right, at that point. But for me, when we moved back from Japan in 2007, I had a 3 and a 5-year-old, and we wanted to buy a house. And I was like, I'm going to get a full-time job. It is time for me now. And where I was finding, I couldn't afford to work because I couldn't pay for the childcare. So I ended up as a volunteer, actually, getting my childcare paid for at Navy Marine Corps Relief Society.
Wow, I didn't even know that was something that you could do, or a resource that military spouses can take advantage of. So what is it like for a military child? Because you said you didn't have to do deployments in the reserve, but it's still challenging growing up a part of the military, especially so young?
So we actually were very lucky that we were able to keep our kids here in the DMV for the bulk of their elementary time. But as your service member gets more senior, they move you more frequently. So when my husband went up in rank, we found ourselves having to move the children during high school both times. And so that really led me down a path of advocacy for military children's education issues and really learning a lot more about that side of the space. And that's another thing that we do talk about a lot in the group. Families, especially with high schoolers, it's so much more difficult with the credit issues, right? So making sure that they have the actual support that they need. But it's been really a blessing to watch this region blossom. Specifically, Fairfax County Public Schools has made a commitment to having Purple Star schools. I don't know if we've talked about this or you know what that is.
Yeah, let's
but,
talk about that.
2018 was when they brought the program to Virginia. That's through the Virginia Department of Education. It's in multiple states. So it's basically a commitment that those schools are going to have staff on hand that understand the needs of military children in their school system. So FCPS now is going to be, they're working towards being a Purple Star division. There's one or two other divisions in this Commonwealth that have that, but it's a really amazing program, and being able to see that grow over the years has been really kind of cool.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So they kind of help ensure that credits are transferred when you do have to PCS, I'm assuming.
So that piece is through another program called the Military Interstate Child Compact, the MIC-3. So that's a it's not legislation, it's in 50 states, actually, and the DODEA is signed on to that as well.
Good.
So it's kind of tied to that, but the Purple Star schools are really designed to have support in the school building with trained staff. So yes, and they're supposed to follow the MIC-3 as well.
Well, I hope every school in the nation becomes a Purple Star school in that case. And talk to us a little bit about your Fairfax County experience, because now you're providing knowledge to legislatures.
Yes, so I think it was 2.5 years ago, the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors decided that they needed to create a Veterans and Military Families Commission. So I was very honored to be one of 6 at-large appointees, and now I serve as vice chair on that commission. This last year, we actually put out our very first survey of veterans and military families in Fairfax County. So we really want to set ourselves up to be the leader in the Commonwealth talking about these issues.
And you mentioned some of the issues being spouse unemployment and child care. Any other issues that come to mind?
Yeah, so we do talk about support for veterans as well. So my role on the commission has really been to talk about that active duty family and now in that retiree space. But it's nice that we have a large group of people on the commission, other nonprofits, so we can cover all of the gamut. It was really difficult in the first few meetings trying to cull down into a bucket, like put in our topics into like digestible areas that we could focus on, because there are so many things to talk about.
Absolutely, and so much great work and a ton of work. So coming up, we will talk to Julie about just some of the offerings that GAMS does have for its members and military families and spouses as well. Welcome back to Service Strong. I'm your host, Liberty Simmons, and I'm here with Jule Shepard with GAMS, National Capital Region, an online Facebook support group. But it goes so much beyond Facebook now, across the DMV, across Alexandria, Maryland, Virginia, everything. So tell us a little bit about what members, and I'm supposing even people who are not members, can get from your group in terms of resources and the help they need when they PCS, being in a military family.
Thanks, Liberty. I appreciate the question. So, one of the things that we really wanted to be able to do is be able to have a safe space for spouses to ask their questions without having people come into them in their direct messages. Not everyone wants to get stranger messages, right? So, that was one of the rules that we put in place early on. That way, when families have questions about, do I want to buy? Do I want to rent? They're not getting their inbox filled up with people asking them to help them buy a house.
Yes, no ads.
Right, no ads.
Just substance and help.
That's right. So we really want to set ourselves apart to have that caring culture. And, sometimes you hear jokes about other groups and how people treat members. We don't tolerate that at all in the group. We ask them to let us know if they are not feeling comfortable with what's going on. So that's a big part of it. We get a lot of questions anonymously that they go through our Facebook page, and then we post them on their behalf. But the reason why we really like doing it that way versus other groups is that it allows our wide, diverse admin team to be able to provide direct resource support to them. We are not the experts, but we know who they are and we can connect them. So that way we're kind of filling that gap. We get a lot of asks for mental health support, for children's educational issues, sometimes related to that mental health support as well. Those are probably the biggest ones that really started coming up during COVID, we saw, but it's continued. Children with, autism, ADHD, special education needs is a big area.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's such a sensitive topic, too, that people don't honestly want to post publicly, and this group provides them that kind of protection and sensitivity, right? To be able to ask those questions.
Absolutely right. So some of the other things that we do, and I started this with the group probably about 6 months in, and I didn't want to do it on day one because I wanted to really create that culture in the group first, but we wanted to be able to support military spouses who have businesses. So it's been very interesting to watch the evolution of it over the years. It's called Marketing Monday, so you have to be a member and you have to live in the region. So if you want to stay in the group, you're welcome to stay in the group when you PCS out of the area, but you can't market here if you're not in the region, right? So maybe 10 years ago, we saw a lot more direct sellers, right? Those, Lip Sense and 31 Gifts and all the different companies that are not really around anymore. But now we see a lot more independent people selling things, services, right? So it's so creative. We have a lot of photographers, we have bakers, we have designers, and it's nice to be able to support each other.
Yeah. Support military spouses and military families. And we even talked beforehand about even helping doctors too, who have their own practices, find the clients as well. And you've even helped me with helping get interview subjects. So it's such a great resource, and it is so wonderful that you're able to have such an impact. So what other things do you offer to spouses and families that they may not know about?
So one of the things that we started actually just a few months ago, because we kept getting asked for this over time, and it seems silly, but when people are where they're PCSing, they like to clear out, and clutter can tend to build up in your home over time. So we have started a weekend sale and giveaway thread because people want to do it in a community that they feel safe with.
Yeah, and that will go to a good home, and it helps declutter when you're PCSing.
Right. So that's something new. It may not be the biggest, most important thing we do, but our members, I think, find value in that.
No, that is still wonderful. And let's talk a little bit about some of you even have your own postcard here. Talk about the other spaces that you're working with, because you are also in the Pentagon now. Your group that started on Facebook is now working with other groups and entities?
So this goes to how I mentioned that we like to bring the resources to our community members, and we invite other nonprofits to engage with our members. So the Armed Forces Host Association, and actually several of our volunteer admins also volunteer at AFHA. They are an organization inside the Pentagon, and they give welcome packets to military families coming into the region. And they're very gracious, and they include our welcome postcards in all the packets that go out.
That is amazing and such a great tool for those who really need it. So what drives you each day? Because you're on social media, it cannot always be a happy place, but what drives you each day to serve our military spouses and military families in this region?
That's such an interesting question. I just don't really know that I ever really had a choice. I don't feel like it's a choice. I feel like it's a calling, I guess, if that makes more sense. The very first tour that we had, I got married and I was 23, and we PCS to Japan. And I got dropped in Atsugi, Japan, and my husband left on deployment 3 weeks later. And I just think, I guess, about what support I would have benefited from in that situation. And then also, even though I was from here, moving to the other side of the county was very different. And so having that resource for our families to be able to continue to thrive where they are, it makes the whole tour have a different tone to it.
And I'm sure it's so very fulfilling in your work. So thank you so much for what you do for military spouses and military families. And thank you for joining us on Service Strong. And tune in next week, where we will bring you more of the men and women in our region and beyond who demonstrate what it truly means to be service strong. See you next time.